Good evening, everyone. Alright. I don't know about you guys. I do appreciate the host there. The Master Gamers. Thank you for the host there. Also, that just made me realize that my alert box should be above the logo there. I'm doing alright.
Hi, Captain!
Oh wait, this is the wrong save file, shoot. What I'm about to do is... Yeah, this is gonna be some grinding. I just need to load the other save file, because this is definitely not the right one. So, yeah, this is gonna be a stream where I am essentially gonna just be doing the same thing over and over, just grinding shiny objects. I expect this to take a little bit of time here. Also, I just realized one other thing I need to do here, and that's to switch the controller settings here, because the Switch version of this game is dumb and has jump on A and spin on Y, which is Y. And it's only the Switch version that does this. I'm very grateful this custom button mapping is even a thing at all, but yeah. So, pretty much every main video of the Let's Play I've been switching, like every time I go to record a session of this, I always configure the custom button settings here, which it's just a more natural way of playing the game, I find. Okay, so we're gonna be going into Jellyfish Fields here, and the spot to grind here is gonna be by here. I'm not gonna be getting anything else in the area or anything. I'm just gonna be straight up shiny object grinding here. I haven't played Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm curious what needs to be remapped in that, though. Okay.
I love opening presents.
Yeah, I haven't played Luigi's
shines.
Mansion 3, so I don't really know what's... Oh, okay. I didn't think that was... yes, the game audio can definitely be turned down a little bit. If it still needs to be down more, then just let me know there. I hate doing some of these weird jumps here. I'm just trying to do this so I can save some time here. So, this spot right here,
Like a spring
probably my
breeze.
favorite spot in the game to get a bunch of shiny objects here. As you see there, we just got
There's nothing like the smell of bubbles in the morning.
like a couple thousand
Smells like
there.
victory.
Like up some. Yeah, I can do that a little bit, I guess. That's about as high as the mic can go there. I might have been speaking a little bit quietly also, so, if the mic does need to be turned up a little bit, I can turn it up on the interface itself. Okay. So this is gonna be the bulk of this stream here.
I feel
Is
like
just
a new
this.
sponge.
And doing this until I hit,
Oh, barnacles.
until I hit 99,999, which I do not need to go that high, but it's just something I feel like doing. In the original version of this game, I did this in about a half hour. In the remake, that's probably gonna take, I'm gonna guess, between an hour to 2 hours, because the load times are really bad in this version of the game. I don't know if the number's exactly 72, actually. I was kind of just guessing. I know it's somewhere in the 70 range, but I actually wasn't 100% sure. I know it says somewhere on the Twitch page, but I was just kind of... I haven't really actually looked at that a whole lot, so... Oh, I was correct? Okay. To be fair, honestly, I've had this Twitch account since, like, 2012, maybe 2011. So, it's not a new thing for me, like... as a whole. It's just a new thing for me to be able to do this on a more regular basis. You know, I've known of and used Twitch almost since, like, it first... I don't want to say first came out, but, like... I remember the days when Twitch was still Justin.tv.
Long as these pits are square and this sponge is Bob, I will not let Bikini Bottom down. Fresh like a spring breeze.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know how much you get every time you do this. I want to say you get about 600 or so every time you... 600 or so roughly every time you do this trick. I don't know if it's like the exact like fastest way or not. There's a part in Mount Slide I think that's really good for this, and
I feel like a new
I
sponge.
keep saying Mount Slide. That's not the name of that level at all. Sand Mountain. Mount Slide's a level in Kirby's Epic Yarn. Yeah, that was kind of like me with YouTube as well. Like, technically I made my YouTube channel in June of 2008. Or not June, January, I mean. But I didn't really start making Let's Plays until September. Though, from what I recall, my earliest videos were up as early as
Fresh like a spring
2000... my earliest videos were done by the time I made my first video. Or by the time I made my channel, I mean, I clearly cannot think of the right words to say this here, but, I didn't know how to export the videos out of Windows Movie Maker at the time. Like, I was trying to upload, like, the whatever format save document files
like
instead of an actual video file. So, yeah, it just was not, like, it wasn't a very good thing, basically.
Fresh like a spring breeze.
Not gonna lie, this is actually going a little bit faster than I initially thought it would, but it could also just be that I started doing this session with, like, a lot more shiny objects than what I had in the original game. I don't know how many objects I had roughly by the time I did this in the original LP. I can actually look that up right now, though. I'm kind of wanting to, just to see how much I roughly had
I feel
at the
like a
spot
new
in the
sponge.
original LP I
You
did.
just met the Sponginator.
I had about 9,000 roughly when I did the grinding for this. That was like at the end of Flying Dutchman's Graveyard.
Can't take it.
So, by the time I was done at Flying Dutchman's Graveyard, I ended up uploading, or, I ended up, grinding the shiny objects then in that part of the game. And I had, like, close to 20,000 at the end of in this remake, so you get way more shiny objects from what I find. And I never even felt like the shiny object count was, like, strict in the original game or anything, but I just find you get a lot more in the remake. Yeah, I don't know. I get the notion that some people don't like to hold on to their early rough work, but I don't know. I could never really see myself deleting my old stuff either. Some stuff is gone. Yeah, you're not gonna find like my oldest stuff, like random old Mario Sunshine machinimas I used to do back in the day, and just other garbage basically. But yeah, it was like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes people should have their old stuff on just so people can like reflect on where they came from. I always kind of find it annoying whenever people say they delete their old stuff because it doesn't represent who they are anymore, and I'm like, I feel like in a way it does, because it represents kind of how far people come along in that time. Yeah, I get the notion behind it, but yeah, I do kind of have a disdain for that as well. I get that, you know, if someone was just, like, an idiot in their old days, or if they're not, like, if they might have said something that was once deemed alright, but now not appropriate or, like, offensive or something, sure, I can get people not wanting to be represented by that, but I don't know, it's a notion I've seen a lot with other YouTubers that I can't say I'm like the biggest fan of myself personally, but
in the morning. Smells
you know, it's
victory.
It's not my like area to judge either, I guess, so
I feel like a new sponge. Like a spring breeze.
should be reaching 30,000 here pretty shortly. This is actually going a little bit faster than I thought, but it is still definitely taking a fair bit of time. I'm pretty sure, again, in the original, like, release of this game, like the original on GameCube, I don't recall this taking very long. The entire time it took me to grind, I think all I did was I watched one episode of Pokemon, and I think I listened to like 2 songs after that. Yeah, I mean, well, it's not really so much that you die a lot. I mean, you do, but basically, I'm just grinding the objects that you get. There's like a respawn point, or a checkpoint, like, right here, next to this here. And, like, this explosion essentially creates about 600 to 700 shiny objects each time. And then I basically die, reset the area, and get all those again, and rinse and repeat. I don't know whether or not this is the absolute fastest spot in this to do this, but it's always just kind of been the area I always do it. Or I always did it anyway. Granted, I've only ever done this one other time, and it was from my other Let's Plays, so that was just entirely off camera, but I figured maybe it might be interesting to try and do this live, I guess. Not that this is exactly the most interesting of streams here, but it is a thing nonetheless.
Cha-ching!
Yeah, I'd say we might be shooting. I'd say at least for the hour-and-a-half mark. I don't want to say closer to 2 hours because it's hard to say, and it also might be hard to believe with like, you know, we're a third of the way there almost essentially. But I don't know. It's hard to judge really right now. It's mainly that the load screens are longer in the remake than they were in the original game. Like, these load screens take freaking forever in this game. So, yeah.
There's nothing like the smell of bubbles in the morning. Smells like
Just taking a drink of my tea there.
tartar sauce.
Yes, I definitely am. I've already done a couple of random streams. I've done about half of Mario World on a stream. I played Kirby's Adventure the other night on, like, a really, like, last minute, like, I need something very, very chill to play type of stream. And whenever I go back to it again, like, I played through literally 99% of the game, and then the thing randomly crashed during the final boss, and then some weird garbo happened after that, and I kind of just had to... There's, like, other tech issues that kind of came up last minute, and I had to kind of just stop the stream, like, literally at the final boss of that game. And then, you know, I've done like a couple Link to the Past randomizers, and I did one Mario 64 randomizer. I'd like to play those some more at some point, but Mario 64 randomizer I think was a little bit more engaging, I think. And I want to get back to that Mario World stream at some point again, because I basically got to about Force of Illusions and then called it a night there. Banjo-Kazooie randomizer. What would really be randomized in Banjo-Kazooie, I wonder? Because, like... Like, what would it be? Like, note door randomization, or... Like, switching item locations, like, say... A Jiggy could be where a Mumbo token would normally be, or a note, or something like that. Entrance, Jinjos, and Jiggies. Jinjos being randomized I don't think would really matter a whole lot, I wouldn't think, because aren't they, like, you need 5 of them to get their use anyway, I thought? Entrance rando would be kind of... Okay, actually, if those are randomized, like, in locations, like, if they switch to the locations of Mumbo tokens and Jinjos and something, yeah, that could actually be kind of ass, but... I'm gonna take the wild assumption and assume it's the N64 version where if you die, you have to collect all the notes again, because I doubt that randomizers or anything could, like, fix that, or... I mean, I imagine they probably could if it was developed well enough, but... definitely sounds interesting. I honestly, as weird as it is, I haven't played the N64 version of Banjo in a really long time. Like, it's still easily my favorite game of all time, but usually whenever I go back to Banjo, it's usually the Xbox version. I've 100%ed the N64 version more than once, but
There's nothing like the smell of bubbles in the morning.
I don't know, I guess just whenever I
Smells
feel like playing something on a more
Oh,
casual basis, I sometimes just put the Xbox version on, because you don't have to worry as much about, like, dying or any of the weird stuff in that.
Go SpongeBob! Go SpongeBob! Go SpongeBob! Ow! I feel like a new sponge.
Well, the only randos I've really played were Mario 64 and Link to the Past. I like both of those ones. I'd say I like Mario 64 more, but also I feel like that's just an easier game for me to play. Granted, I've never really played either with, like, any ridiculous, like, settings or whatever, but Link to the Past is one of those games that it really could depend from seed to seed, because sometimes you could get a really, like, decent or easy seed, and then sometimes you could just get a really asshole seed. So it's something that really does just kind of depend from game to game, I think.
Fresh like a spring breeze.
Yeah, I don't know what Mario 64 rando I specifically played. I mean, it was a pretty standard one from what I remember. It had entrances were shuffled and, like, item locations were shuffled, but it wasn't like if, say, you go into, like, if you get a star, like, say you go into your first world, if it's, let's just say Hazy Maze Cave, like, it doesn't exit you at Hazy Maze Cave and then, like, throw the route of progression off. It wasn't anything like that. It was just, like, if Hazy Maze Cave was where Bob-omb Battlefield was normally, then it would just deposit you out that way. It was a lot more simple that way. So I wouldn't mind really trying some more randomizers. The Mario 64 one, I think, was the one I
feel like a new
wanted to try the most, and I thought it was alright. I wouldn't mind trying the Ocarina of Time randomizer either, and I wouldn't mind also trying a multi-world, oddly enough, with, as some friends that I think might be interested in trying that, but it's just, it would be a matter of communicating a schedule between a couple of people. I don't know if that would be a live on Twitch thing or not, honestly. I really don't know, but, I think it'd be something fun to at least play anyway, so maybe one randomizer I thought of maybe possibly was, Metroid Prime. But, I don't know how that, like, I've seen footage of that randomizer and it looks interesting, but also, I don't know, like, exactly how
There's
dependent
nothing like the smell of bubbles in the morning. Smells like victory. I love opening presents.
I don't know how, like, glitch dependent the Metroid Prime randomizer is, because I know it, what am I don't even know what I'm trying to say at this point. I know some, like, easier glitches in Metroid Prime, but I don't know any of, like, the really super advanced stuff that's, like, kind of ridiculous, so... Alright, we're at 45, or 40,000, so... Close to being halfway there. It really is. It's hard to communicate different schedules with many different people.
Fresh like a spring breeze. I feel like a new sponge.
Ooh.
Fresh like a spring breeze. Oh no.
As far as, like, what other stream games I would like to play at some point, I'm honestly not 100% sure at this point. There are some ideas I would have, but, I feel like I had, like, one decent idea, like, semi-recently, and I just kind of don't remember what it is.
Fresh like a spring breeze.
I might play some of the Kirby games maybe at some point. I'm not really 100% sure. Because I did do Kirby's Adventure semi-recently, and, I wouldn't mind doing some of the other games like Kirby Superstar and maybe Kirby 64, like, some night if I just feel like playing a game that would take me about 2 to 3 hours to complete, then, like, those are all games that I could clear in a night fairly simply. But, yeah. Like, it's hard trying for me also to kind of balance out between, like, there's some games I want to do full Let's Plays of, and then there's other games I want to do, like, streams of, and it's kind of hard for me to decide which games I want to do for what, essentially. So...
I love opening presents.
I'm currently ongoing Let's Playing this version of the game. Which is why I'm kind of just streaming this, because this does need to get done. And it would have either been me doing this off camera, which would have been just boring for me, I realized, but, like, I figured, why not? I'll just try and stream this game on a whim just for this one thing, because, like, this is not anything I would have shown in the Let's Play at all. I would have done this all off camera, but I figured just maybe for the sake of, like, just something to do, I would just stream this part of the game, because it's not... This isn't even really a part of the Let's Play, it's just something I felt like doing. So... yeah. This is really
Feel like a new sponge.
definitely a 2 hours later kind of scenario. Also, what's up, Darren?
Fresh like a spring breeze.
One might say that, I guess.
$999, 1,000. Ready or not, here I come! Ow!
We are almost halfway there, but you gotta remember I also started with like 20,000 of these things, so in reality I've only gotten like a third of the things I've needed for this in this amount of time, so we're gonna be here for another... We're probably not even halfway through the time that we would have spent for this, so we're gonna be here a while yet. Let's get comfortable. But we are definitely halfway to the max amount we need, and I don't know how many you need overall to get all the spatulas from Mr. Krabs, because there's a lot there, and to get into the theater you need 40,000, so yeah, that does take quite a lot. Actually, I thought I hit 50,000. Clearly, I'm going delirious already.
I feel like a new sponge. Fish paste.
Hey, it's gotta be done. Might be lame, but it's gotta be done.
Fresh like a spring breeze.
Apologize if you hear that, it's... Yeah, the window's open and there's like a dog going off and a car horn from next door, but I don't know how well it's like picked up on the microphone or not. I don't know if this is like the best spot in the game to grind these things, but it's the best one I've personally found. There's like another spot that some people really like, but I don't really know by comparison how good it is.
Presents.
This way gets you roughly, I want to say about 700 roughly each time you do this. It's really just the load screens that make this take forever in this version of the game, because in the original, these load screens weren't here. It was pretty much you fell in, it would do a fade to black, and then you would respawn, and that would take about
Fresh like a
3 seconds.
breeze.
So, if this was the original, I'd be pretty near close to the max right by now, so... This is actually the very first level of the game, Jellyfish Fields.
I feel like a new sponge.
It's
Too pretty. Can't
an area
take it.
really early on in the game.
Fresh like a spring breeze.
Yeah, it's a little strange, but... I don't think you really need them much throughout, like, the core bulk of the game. I find you get more than you need. It's just that you need to grind to get... I wasn't kidding when I said this is gonna take a long time. Mr. Krabs sells... I don't think they go up by 3,000 every time, but, like, he sells 8 spatulas that you would need for 100%. These aren't necessary for main game completion, but he does sell them and you need them for, like,
Feel like a new
completionist sake.
sponge.
Yeah, if, like I said, this is way faster in the original game because you don't have these stupid load screens. In the main Let's Play, I've been cutting out these load screens every time I die just because they take such a long time. It's like my one biggest gripe with this remake, even besides just the Switch version not being,
Fresh like a
like,
spring breeze. You've just
the
met
most polished thing in the world.
Sponginator.
Basically, the spatulas are essentially like the Power Stars in Mario, or just any main, like, collectible MacGuffin. There's 100 in the game. You need 70 to finish the main game, and the rest is
Feel
just
like a
kind of for
new
completionist
sponge.
purpose. That's pretty much
Fresh
how they work.
paste.
8 of the things are from Mr. Krabs, and another 8 are from Patrick, so there's 16 right there. The 8 from Patrick are more like the blue coins in Mario Sunshine. Like, almost the exact same concept. There's items called Lost Socks scattered throughout every level. And there's 80 in the game total, and every 10 you can trade in for a spatula. It's pretty much the exact same concepts as the blue coins in Sunshine. Only difference is that there's 24 shine sprites you get for blue coins, and like 240 blue coins in the game total.
Go, SpongeBob. It's your birthday.
But yeah,
There's nothing like the smell of bubbles in the morning. Smells like victory. Ow! love opening presents.
In terms of the shiny objects, I don't remember the exact amount, especially since there was a recent patch that lowered the amount Mr. Krabs had. I don't even know what it was before that, but it would be even less. You need 40,000 though to get like one secret area in this game. I don't think there's really a whole lot in that secret area. It's more something that shows like concept art and other weird little secrets in this game, so it's not like it's a super significant area, but it is a thing in the game regardless.
Like a spring breeze.
I don't know if there's any sort of like, not that the Switch version of this game has achievements or anything like that, but like I don't think like the PlayStation, Xbox, or Steam versions of this would have an achievement for maxing out the shiny objects total, but it's just some stupid objective I want to kind of do anyway. Why I want to do that, I don't know. I just kind of want to, I guess.
There's nothing like the smell of bubbles in the morning. Smells like victory.
Oh, this was on a thing there. I wasn't kidding when I said this takes a long time. I knew this was gonna be, I was gonna be here for a couple hours doing this. I would have actually been pretty much done with this if I was, by now, if I was playing the original game, because how much faster the game runs without load screens.
As long as these pits are square and this sponge is Bob, I will not let Bikini Bottom down. Still right!
I have uploaded some of the VODs. I kind of got a little bit lazy this last week, but I will be uploading some of the VODs to my main channel. Usually I do it just kind of the same night of. I know if you're a partner or something, you have to, like, you can't contractually upload a VOD to, like, your YouTube channel or something unless you wait, like, a day. But, I'm not, so it's, like, I'm not under any sort of contractual obligation or anything, so usually I might just upload these VODs to the main channel besides that, but, yeah. Like, I need to still upload the one randomizer I did, the Kirby stream, and I guess this would be, like, the ones I still need to do. But I'd say we're kind of at the halfway point now, so I think another 44, 45 minutes or so, I think, should be good for this, because, yeah, we started with around 20,000, I believe, and now we're at a point where we have about 60,000, and there's 99,999, so, yeah.
opening presents. I feel like a new sponge. Ouch! Cha-ching! Right!
Yeah, I'm close-ish. Really, the only thing I need for affiliate at this point is just the consistent viewership. And I know that's, like, the consistently trickiest thing to get. I had over 50 followers on Twitch for a while now. I don't remember why or how I got 50 followers before, but yeah, I had that for like a couple of years now, probably before this affiliate thing was even really a thing, honestly. I don't know a whole lot of like the history of Twitch here, but Jackbox would be something fun to play now that I think about it. I don't have any of those games, but they would probably be something interesting to try anyway. Hope this didn't just respawn me at the bottom of this area here. It probably did, knowing my crap luck here. Oh, no. Okay, I'm back at the top again. It's good to see.
There's nothing like the smell of bubbles in the morning. Smells like
Yeah, I know it's
victory.
I thought that some people probably don't realize, but viewer retention is a really, really hard thing. Like, people think they can just kind of go in and do something, and it's a lot harder than a lot of people probably realize.
Ready for another fantastic day!
I know when I first learned kind of what a YouTube partner was, I kind of worked my ass off for probably, I'd say, a good 2 years straight, if not longer. And, that was still, like, after they heavily lowered what, like, the partnership requirements were from that. That's nice, though. 117 followers isn't a small number to scoff at. It took me 2.5 years to even get my first 100 subs on YouTube.
SpongeBob to mission control.
Although I'd say like the
Ready to go.
second 50
I love opening
of that
presents.
came in like 2 months, so... And it was mostly from people I knew on a forum that I was on at the time. God, it feels really weird for me thinking mentally that was a decade ago now. Yeah, honestly, the last 6 years or so on YouTube have not been anywhere near the best, I'd say. I've done this for 12 years now. I didn't really make any Let's Play content last year because I did say I wanted to be done, and then, that didn't really last because goodbyes just never are forever.
Sparkly.
So, yeah, that didn't really pan out, I guess, but, I mean, I got my first, like, pretty much after my first 100, things kind of started getting turbulent again for, like, the next, like, couple of years. I don't know when I got to 200, but I want to say 200 and 300 kind of came sometime in 2011. Like, I think I had about 300 by the end of 2011. And then I was close to 400 when I got partnered, and, like, that was around the middle of 2012. And then, like, after that, like, subscribers just started rising like crazy. I went from about 400 to 1,000 in the span of a couple of months. Like, I hit 1,000 by January of the next year, and I remember that because it was just before my 5-year YouTube anniversary. So it's weird thinking even back then that was, like, it felt like I was doing it for such a long time when it was only year 5, and now I'm almost 12 years into this, or I'm like almost 13 years into this. It's like, I guess for Let's Playing it would be 12 years, but still, everything was a lot more turbulent in those days. It really was. I don't know if there was any, like, de facto time when everything kind of shit the bed, but I kind of feel it was sometime around the time when Google Plus started making rounds, because that was kind of when they also started tinkering and, like, messing with sub boxes and just changing YouTube. I don't want to say for the worst, but, like, it generally felt like it. Yeah, like, September 2013, I think, was kind of the big turning point. And it's kind of ironic, actually, because I remember saying back in the day, I was like, near the end of my Battle for Bikini Bottom Let's Play, I was like, this was a really big Let's Play for me.
Fish sticks.
Are you guys who watch this Let's Play gonna stick with me when I do non-SpongeBob games? Everyone was like, yeah, I'll stick with you, and then I never heard or saw anyone else after that in the comments again, and then I got weird after a while, because I started playing a bunch of, like, Zelda games and, like, longer, either, like, action-adventure or RPG kind of games, and, like,
Fresh like a spring breeze.
it just kind of got to a weird point where I was like, I don't know, it was exhausting for a while, and I kind of burned myself out for a good... It's one reason I don't really look back too fondly on 2014 for me too much. And, like, with all the YouTube changes and just trying to do everything I could to kind of keep my composure, I didn't know what the hell was going on at the time. I didn't know why I was suddenly losing views left and right and why no one was watching me anymore, and I don't know, I don't even think any of my Let's Plays from that era are quote-unquote bad. they just, I don't think, hold, like, too much of a candle for me personally, in a way. Like, I still kind of look back somewhat decently on, like, aspects of, Wind Waker, which, I think Wind Waker's just a weird game because that game's just long as it is. And Pokemon Emeralds, Pokemon Emerald, there was a lot of weird behind-the-scenes drama going on at the time. It was just a weird time of my life overall. I definitely think I pulled things around the next year because I actually said to myself, I said to myself, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do one of 3 games for, like, my first big LP of 2015. I was picking between, Donkey Kong 64, Banjo-Tooie, and Sonic Adventure 1, and ultimately I chose Donkey Kong 64 out of that, and honestly, one of the smartest decisions I ever made in my life. I know Sonic Adventure, or not Sonic Adventure, I know Donkey Kong 64 isn't, like, it's not held up the greatest for a lot of people, but I needed to do a platformer. And, like, that game's pretty long as it is, but, like, I never felt like I was burnt out of that game either. And yeah, for sure, like, nothing's the same way it's ever gonna be, and, I mean, it's not really necessarily a bad thing, because, like, we always remember the good old days, but, like, there's a lot of just crappy things, even from the good old days, too, that I know some people probably don't want to relive either, so it definitely was. There was a lot less controversy back then. You know, the most controversial figure we had back in the day, or the most hated figure we had was more, like, Fred. Like, and that was just more because people found him just annoying. He wasn't really just this guy being an asshole for the sake of viewership. And I find that I find that, like, so many channels just delve on just being assholes or just being idiots, basically. Not quite Fred Fox.
It shines.
I think some days we should just go on to, or go back to the days when the most people knew of YouTube was, like making
a new sponge.
YouTube poops of Mama Luigi or something. That just reminds me of, there's this one meme I saw of, WWE, hey Dev, playing, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. This is not really so much even... I have ukulele, actually, I haven't really played it a whole lot, but I do have it. This isn't really going to be so much playing it, it's literally just me doing this super, super redundant thing over and over and over. But, yeah, going back to that WWE thing for a sec, there was one meme I saw that it was like a... It was like a WWE in the 90s and WWE now, and I don't even remember what was in the pictures. I think one of the pictures in the 90s was something to do with Chris Jericho, and there was some other stuff in that I didn't really recognize, but, like, the WWE now was just a picture of Sesame Street. And everybody I showed that picture to agreed. So... I was never really too much on WWE, but I get the appeal of it though in a sense, cause I don't know, I think I was never really too much for wrestling, but I understand it more from an entertainment point of view. Tell the kids I said hi, Dev. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I've gone to like local wrestling like events that have been held on like at like local rinks, and I get that it wasn't real. It's not so much like people don't watch it because of like someone being like physically better than another person. It's more just like they'd watch it just to see what happens next. Like one night something could be happening, and then suddenly out of left field, I don't know, like Hulk Hogan could show up and just say that he was wanting to challenge The Undertaker next night, and it would just be like, you'd be watching to see what would happen. You would just watch it to see what would happen, really. Like, it was just an entertainment form, really. You know, I think for me, when I was at like, when I started getting into my like later childhood years, like grade 4, grade 5, that was kind of like when UFC was like kind of popular in like kind of my group of, not my group of people, but like the parents of like me and my friends. Like I knew a lot of people who would watch UFC growing up. I didn't really watch it a whole lot at the time, but like I knew a lot of people who watched UFC, and by that point I think people started to say that they hated wrestling because they thought it was how fake it was and just whatever. But I get, like, looking back on it, it wasn't for that people watched wrestling for. It was just an entertainment value, basically.
Too pretty. Can't take it.
You know, like, wrestling might not be, like, the realest sport in the world. I know it's all, like, I know it's essentially acted. Like, there are scripts that happen and, like, people follow certain storylines and whatnot, but, it's an entertaining thing, though. And I used to watch, like, wrestling spoof shows. I used to watch this one show about thumb wrestling, and it was essentially a wrestling show about thumb wrestlers, and I was entertained by that. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard Japan does have a pretty big wrestling scene. And I know in Smash Bros, the reason that the character Incineroar basically was added was because of Sakurai's want to do a wrestler character, which is weird because it is a Pokemon, but at the same time, Smash never really had a wrestler type character, so it makes sense from that, like, kind of perspective.
ready. I'm ready. I feel like a new sponge.
We're also about 4/5 of the way through this, which is nice to see. It is a really... I knew this was not going to be the most interesting thing, but I mean... I think if I was doing this by myself, it literally would have just been the same, except I wouldn't have been talking about
Fresh like a spring breeze.
wrestling. I would have just been doing this by myself, but not doing anything, really, so... I figured this would be the kind of thing that would not be a half-bad idea to do a live stream of, even though it's not the most interesting thing, I realize. Not from a gameplay perspective, but, you know, if you think about just, you know, how popular podcasts are, which are often just
There's
people
nothing
talking,
like the
and,
smell of bubbles in the morning.
yeah, or Q&As or
Smells
whatever.
like
I like doing
victory.
videos like this. I wouldn't mind doing more, like, streams like this, like, just talking streams. I know a lot of people like those, so I wouldn't mind doing more of those at some point. Maybe I might devote some night to doing that, like, maybe once a month, or twice a month, or something. I will be right back, though. So, just a moment. Alright, I'm back.
Hammer! I did it! It shines.
Alright, sounds good. I'll see you around then, 3 Master Gamers. Grind is definitely coming to a close here shortly, though. I probably have realistically everything I need to finish this, but... or to finish, like, the rest of the game, but...
Right! Ouch! I feel like a new sponge.
Pretty much until I reach the maximum amount. So... Not a whole lot more, but still a little bit more.
Ow! Ow! Fresh like a spring breeze.
Like, we need about 12,000 more shiny objects, and we're kind of... yeah.
I love opening presents. I feel like a new sponge. Go, SpongeBob, it's your birthday. Ow! Fresh like a spring breeze.
I would take tea if given the choice.
Ow! I feel like a new sponge. Cha-ching!
Alright, we are less than 10,000 away. That's for less than 10,000, which is very, very nice.
I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Ouch! Fresh like a spring breeze.
Realistically, I'm at the point now where I really don't need to grind much more. I just want to get to the max number anyway.
Take that! I feel like a new sponge.
Welcome back. Glad you could join me today. Today we got a nice, wonderful painting that we're just gonna go ahead and get started here. So I already took the time to start painting this around Nice and black here. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started here. We're gonna take a little bit of primer here. We're just gonna start.
Hammer! I did it!
You can do these trees however you like, though. Doesn't have to be any particular way. And we're just gonna go ahead and draw some little lines coming out. Of course, you can do these lines however you like. Alright, next we're gonna mix in a little bit of gold. We're gonna mix in a little bit of red.
Fresh like a spring breeze.
This nice brush here. We're just gonna start on some leaves. On some leaves. Alright, that looks good. Now, we're going to take a nice
999, 1,000. Ready or not, here I come!
brush along, just stroke gently, nice wide strokes.
I love opening presents. I feel like a new sponge.
Of course, you can do this however you like, because this is your world here. And just for measure, we're gonna put in a little rock here and a rock here. Alright, next we're gonna take.
Right!
We're gonna start drawing some more foreground trees. Yeah. We're just gonna kind of zigzag. Draw some leaves kind of side by side. Alright, next what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix in some more of that gold and some red, and we're just gonna dab some give it the look of leaves on the ground.
As long as these pits are square and this sponge is bob, I will not let Bikini Bottom down.
Alright, this should seriously take about maybe 6 more times.
There's nothing like the smell of bubbles in the morning. Smells like victory.
I would say, yeah, I'd say about, after this, I guess 5 more times, maybe 6, maybe closer to 7, I'm not really sure, but we are nearing the end of this stream, which is pretty good. This actually went kind of a bit quicker than I expected it to, not gonna lie. I'm not really sure why, it just kind of did. I kind of zoned out and gotten pretty good discussions near the middle of this, which made the long stuff go by really, really fast, so...
It shines!
Yeah, it's definitely good. I haven't decided if I want to keep streaming or not. Like, a part of me does, but a part of me is not sure what I would stream here.
barnacles. You just met the
3 more times
Sponginator.
of doing this, I think. Maybe even this next time, actually, because there are a lot of robots kind of around in this area, so it wouldn't take me too long to find some more shiny objects here after this, so... Yeah, that's probably gonna be close to it for this stream here.
I love opening presents.
Part of me's like feeling like I still want to keep going here. Like I'm not playing
There's
this
nothing
game,
like
but
the
like
smell of
playing
bubbles
something
in the
else.
morning.
I'm not really sure
Smells like victory.
what yet, because Lord knows what else I would play here, but yeah, just with how many robots are kind of back here. I mean, I am getting like the smallest amounts here, but maybe heading back this way wasn't the best idea, but I mean, it is something, I guess. Did I ever get what was up in this area here? I must have, given that there's nothing up there. There's something here.
Just my size.
It's like, wow, I'm still missing a couple hundred here, and I've, like, killed just about every enemy on the way down this way, but... oh well.
Coming at ya.
I hate controlling this thing in this version of the game, and I know people complain about it in the original, but it's...
I feel like a new sponge.
I just don't give anything in this version of the game, or, like, at all, really, so... Actually, hold on. If I can just cruise bubble the big thing, I think. Well, if I could, if the control wasn't so damn precise here. Nope, I got that. Yeah, and that's all going towards me. That's it there, I think. They increased the total in this game. Interesting. It's no longer 99,999. Yeah, so that totally means let's grind it out even further. No, I'm not going to do that. That would be so pointless, it wouldn't even be funny. I think I might just call it there, though. Like, we've accomplished kind of the task that we were set off to do here. I mean, we got the maximum amount that was from the original game. I don't think there's no other, like, reason to go beyond what we have right now. So, I don't know what the new max total is. It's probably 1 million at this point, if I had to guess, but there's literally no reason anyone would ever have to grind that out. Maybe for, like, some really dumb idea, maybe it might be, like, a good idea, like,
I feel like a new sponge.
as, like, a joke or something, grinding it out that far, but, like, you would be here for, like, a good 10 hours, and I don't really have the energy to do a stream like that, but, yeah, that's gonna do it for this stream, though, I think. I wouldn't really mind rating someone right now, but I don't think that anyone I really typically watch is going right now, so, yeah, I would raid somebody, but I don't think there's really a whole lot of people on right now, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna call it there. I'm not sure if I'll be streaming tomorrow or not. Probably not, but maybe I might. If I do, it would probably be later in the evening. All that being said, though, otherwise, yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.